Welcome to our podcast, where we delve into the lives of remarkable individuals who have left an indelible mark on human history. As we embark on this biographical journey, let us begin by examining the formative years that shaped this iconic figure. In post-war Britain, where the sounds of skiffle music and rock and roll were beginning to permeate the airwaves, David Bowie was born on January 8, 1947, in Brixton, London. His father, Haywood Stenton Jones, worked as a promotions officer for the children's charity Barnardo's, while his mother, Margaret Mary Jones, was a waitress. The family lived in a modest flat at 40 Stansfield Road, Brixton, surrounded by the vibrant sounds and smells of the local market. This eclectic environment would later influence David's artistic expression, as he drew upon the diverse cultural landscape of his childhood. David's early years were marked by a unique blend of creative influences, family dynamics, and cultural context. His parents encouraged his interest in music, with his father introducing him to the likes of George Formby and Elvis Presley. The young David would often listen to the radio, mesmerized by the sounds of Buddy Holly, Eddie Cochran, and Gene Vincent, whose music embodied a sense of rebellion and nonconformity that resonated deeply with him. He attended Stockwell Infant School, where he demonstrated a keen interest in art and music, and later moved on to Burnt Ash Junior School, where he began to develop his skills as a musician. The historical context of David's early years was marked by the cultural and social upheaval of post-war Britain. The rise of youth culture, with its distinctive fashion and music, was beginning to take shape, and David was at the forefront of this movement. He was influenced by the likes of Little Richard, Chuck Berry, and Jerry Lee Lewis, whose energetic performances and flamboyant stage presence inspired him to experiment with his own style. In 1956, at the age of 9, David saw Elvis Presley perform on television, an experience that would later shape his own approach to live performance. As David entered his teenage years, he began to develop a passion for music that went beyond mere listening. He formed his first band, the Conrads, with friends from school, and they would play gigs at local youth clubs and pubs. These early performances were marked by a sense of excitement and experimentation, as David and his bandmates explored different styles and genres, from rockabilly to skiffle. The band's energetic live performances, coupled with David's charismatic stage presence, quickly gained them a loyal following among the local youth. David's family dynamics also played a significant role in shaping his early years. His half-brother, Terry Burns, was a significant influence on his life, introducing him to the world of jazz and blues music. The two brothers would often spend hours listening to records together, with Terry sharing his knowledge of music and encouraging David's creative endeavors. This exposure to Terry's artistic expressions and the complexities of his mental health would later shape David's approach to songwriting and his exploration of themes related to identity and mental wellness. In 1962, at the age of 15, David formed his second band, the King Bees, with his friends from Technical College. This marked a significant milestone in his musical development as he began to hone his craft and develop his unique sound. The King Bees played gigs at local venues, including the famous Marquee Club in London, where they shared the stage with other up-and-coming bands of the time. The seeds of his future success were sown in these early years, as he developed a passion for music, art, and self-expression that would drive him to become one of the most innovative and iconic artists of his generation. As we enter the 1960s, David's musical career begins to gain momentum. In 1964, at the age of 17, he forms his third band, the Manish Boys, with his friends from Technical College. This marks a significant milestone in his development as a musician, as he begins to hone his craft and develop his unique sound. The Manish Boys play gigs at local venues, including the famous Marquee Club in London, where they share the stage with other up-and-coming bands of the time. In 1965, David releases his first single, Liza Jane, under the name Davy Jones with the King Bees. Although the single fails to chart, it marks an important milestone in his career, as he begins to gain recognition as a singer-songwriter. Later that year, David changes his stage name to David Bowie, reportedly to avoid confusion with Davy Jones of the Monkees. The late 1960s are a period of great creative experimentation for David as he explores different styles and genres, from folk to psychedelia. In 1967, he releases his debut album, David Bowie, which receives positive reviews but fails to achieve commercial success. Undeterred, David continues to write and record music, releasing a string of singles that showcase his unique sound and style. In 1969, David releases the single Space Oddity, which becomes a massive hit, reaching #1 in the UK singles chart. The song's haunting lyrics and innovative production, which incorporates elements of electronic music and sound effects, capture the imagination of the public and establish David as a major talent. The success of Space Oddity is followed by the release of his second album, David Bowie, which features a mix of folk, rock, and pop influences. The early 1970s are a period of great artistic innovation for David, as he explores new themes and styles in his music. In 1970, he releases the album The Man Who Sold the World, which features a more hard rock sound and explores themes of identity and alienation. The album is critically acclaimed, but fails to achieve commercial success. In 1972, David releases the iconic album The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, which catapults him to international stardom. The album's blend of glam rock, pop, and science fiction themes, combined with David's bold and androgynous stage persona, creates a sensation that reverberates throughout the music world. From his early experiments with music and art to his later success as a singer-songwriter and performer, David's career is marked by a unique combination of talent, dedication, and a passion for self-expression. The 1980s are a period of great commercial success for David, as he releases a string of hit albums and singles that showcase his ability to adapt to changing musical trends. In 1980, he releases the album Scary Monsters and Super Creeps, which features the hit single Ashes to Ashes, a sequel to his earlier song Space Oddity. The album is critically acclaimed and commercially successful, reaching #1 in the UK albums chart. The late 1980s are a period of experimentation for David as he explores new sounds and styles in his music. In 1987, he releases the album Never Let Me Down, which features a more rock-oriented sound and includes the hit single Day In Day Out. Although the album receives mixed reviews from critics, it is commercially successful and showcases David's ability to continue innovating and pushing boundaries in his music. In the 1990s, David continues to experiment with new sounds and styles, releasing albums such as Black Tie White Noise 1993 and Outside 1995. These albums feature a more electronic and industrial sound, showcasing David's ability to adapt to changing musical trends. In 1996, he releases the album Earthling, which features a more drum and bass-influenced sound and includes the hit single Little Wonder. The 2000s are a period of reflection and nostalgia for David as he looks back on his career and legacy. In 2002, he releases the album Heathen, which features a more introspective and melancholic sound. The album is critically acclaimed and commercially successful, reaching #1 in the UK albums chart. In 2013, David surprises fans by releasing a new album, The Next Day, after a 10-year hiatus from music. The album is critically acclaimed and commercially successful, reaching #1 in the UK albums chart. The album's success is followed by a series of singles and music videos, which showcase David's ability to continue innovating and pushing boundaries in his music. Throughout his later years, David continues to be recognized for his contributions to music and art. In 1996, he is inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and in 2000, he is awarded a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. In 2014, he releases the album Nothing Has Changed, a compilation of his greatest hits, which becomes one of the best-selling albums of all time. From his early experiments with music and art to his later success as a singer-songwriter and performer, David's career is marked by a unique combination of talent, dedication, and a passion for self-expression. As the legendary musician Brian Eno once said, David Bowie was a master of reinvention, and his influence can be seen in many areas of popular culture. Indeed, David's legacy continues to inspire and influence new generations of artists, musicians, and fans around the world. His music, art, and style continue to be celebrated and emulated, ensuring that his impact on popular culture will be felt for years to come. That's all for today's biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.